Hello folks, Typhon Carter here, and I bring to you DPP Revival Ubers Open. This is a round 2 matchup between Evuelf, going by Nico C6R5, and Laurel. Laurel, you guys know him, I've covered him a few times on my channel. I'm not going to delve super deep into him because again I've covered him so many times, but he did recently win SPL as a manager while managing the Raiders, but so congratulations to him on that. But as per Evuelf, or Evuelf, not sure how it's actually pronounced, is a French player. I actually bought Evuelf, or my team bought Evuelf last year for DPPPO, and they did a great job holding down the Farcius slot. But from the sound, based on the alt name, I think Nicole. Again, like the only Nicole I know from Gacha games is Nicole Demera from Zenless Zone Zero, but it's been a while since I played Zenless or ZZZ, and from what I know, it's like Nicole's like there's also a Nicole in Genshin, so I assume like Evuelf like wailed out like a Nicole to Constellation 6 or something like that. Anyways, enough of that though. But Evuelf, somebody who's usually a threat to make Ubers Classic or win it each year, and somebody who normally plays black and white but also plays DPP quite well in Ubers PL each year. I know Evuelf actually supported Ivakiyama on their Ubers PL team, and Eva did fantastic there. So and I've worked with Evuelf like a fair bit, so I know they're quite capable. And anyways, enough said though. Let's jump right into this. Rayquaza lead, Kyogre lead. Here, Ray versus Ogre. Usually, Rayquaza's probably just gonna let that Draco rip if it is Focus Sash, and then just try to wear Kyogre down, and then try E-Speed, and then go next. But again, for Evuelf, you have a very valid reason to kind of swap out of this. Actually, both players do, to be honest, depending on the item choice. But we'll see what happens here. Laurel goes into Blissey, does not want to take any risk. That water spell, that is not a Specs Ogre, and yeah, that explains a lot, because normally Specs water spell will do over 50%, as you can see here, and eats a Lumberry. Oh brother, this might be rest. Yeah, I'm like, if you're running this, it's like because again, normally if you see water spell, this is on Specs or Scarf, but if you're running this, it's like, again, because like water spell's power is like based on your HP, right? So I'm thinking like if it's Lumberry, like you kind of have like a nice catch-all, like you cover Darkrai, you also cover you also kind of give yourself a second spurt of life, if that makes sense, by making your water spouts even more dangerous, especially with Calm Mind. So this is actually not a very common set, but it is a set that actually does make a ton of sense. I got like what I'm seeing so far, but before he's gonna come in here, gotta eat this E-Speed up, and Laurel just trying to mitigate the damage here. And Groudon's gonna come in, go threaten this Fori. Toxic Spikes is gonna be thrown up, and that is probably gonna stay up for the rest of the game, and that's gonna be huge for Evuelf. And Blissey's gonna come in here, and Hydro Pump's there. Question is, what is the last move? Pumps again, and you really see how this Blissey is just getting pressured by Toxic Spikes, and gonna come in on this T-Wave. Okay, so it might just be like Thunder last or something, not sure. Stealth Rocks are up, and that means that Ray is almost certainly dead, depending on the calculations, or rather how it's rounded down, because Showdown does not show that properly. It's a bit weird, but a lot S-tossing going around here, and Evuelf could probably look to get something else in. Oh, Giratina's gonna come in. This might be sub Giratina based on the way Evuelf is playing this. Yup. And this might be a Vintina. For all I know. Oh, just gotta get roared out here. And that Groudon is permanently crippled, so that is devastating. Assuming this Blissey's last move is not, if the Blissey's last move here is aromatherapy, then you still might not be completely in trouble, but still, that is actually quite annoying. Oh, taunts there. Yeah, Scarm sometimes runs that, but not always. And Scarm Bliss, kind of a tried-true combo. And what I would probably expect to see here on Avos's team, probably like Healing Wish Latias or something. Not sure. Oh, okay, so it is not rest. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I was clearly drinking the Kool-Aid thinking it could have been rest. But Darkrai gonna come in here, gonna threaten to sleep, but nope, just got a dark pulse here. And oh, that hits quite hard. Okay, that's probably just an offensive Jirachi into a Scarf Darkrai. And yeah, there's the Latias. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if this is Healing Wish, but this could be a Calm Mind. Thunders here into this Groudon. And 9 out of 10 times, this is probably a... Oh, okay, huge crit there. Actually, that might have killed, that might have not killed, but... Evo's gonna win this game 1 pretty convincingly. And good stuff like just getting immense mileage out of the Kyogre early, being able to pressure the Blissey early on, and then being able... And then getting that T-Spike off was quite vital because like Blissey constantly had to heal up. Groudon was pressured, so you were probably able to wear it down and then get it into range of something like a Draco Meteor, negate its lefties, you know, like that kind of thing. And you really see how like even like any like passive damage you can get, or like any little advantage you can get, can sometimes lead to a nice payout. But enough said though, let's go into game 2. Here we are, game 2. Mewtwo lead, Deoxys speed lead. This is a pretty... Okay, so Mewtwo not a super common lead, just to be clear. This is very much intended to be an anti-lead, because of the fact that this is probably running either Thunder or Grass Knot. This probably has self-destruct, or... Yeah, it'll usually have self-destruct because, again, if you're an all-attacker lead, sometimes it's like you're on your last legs, you just want to explode. This could be Lum, so that you can, you know, erase Darkrai out of existence. Could also be Life Orb, if you're really feeling like you just want this Mewtwo to just get as many attacks off as possible. We don't know for sure. Could also be Taunt, but Taunt just makes it a worse Deoxys most of the time. But if you're Evuelf here, you're probably just taking your hazards. Oh, just gets the trick there. It's Expert Belt, and that Icy Wind is huge, but at the very least, gotta be able to get hazards up, gotta get spikes up. Huge taunt there, gotta be able to prevent rocks, and tricks again, getting rid of the lefties. That's actually going to be, that could be quite handy later, because something like Bronzong, for a lot of Ubers teams that have a defensive backbone, Bronzong is pretty much that fundamental piece. Even tricking something like an Expert Belt onto this is quite nice, because of the fact that one, it means that any chip damage you get on Bronzong, it's gonna stick. Kyogre is gonna come in here, gonna eat this payback, but Hydro Pump's gonna do a significant amount of damage, and nice T-Wave there as a mid-ground. And Latios is gonna threaten the Thunder, but Draco's there. Oh, okay, gets the Bronzong in again. Nice double by Evuelf, trying to put pressure, focus on pressuring the Zong. And Latios. Oh, huge full para there, because could have at least traded significant chip damage on the Ogre to actually focus on wearing it down. And now this Mewtwo's gonna be forced to explode. And yeah, that's a low value explosion. That was like too obvious for Laurel, but you're so behind that like It's like, what else are you gonna do? Ice Beam's there, and don't oh, that freeze basically made that game more or less unplayable. Guillotine not gonna be able to fall out, but Dialga's gonna be able to threaten a kill. Dragon Pulse is there. Again, that damage is here to stay. Roars out into a Scarm. Gonna threaten a Thunder here. And that's a Spaduf Scarm if I have ever seen one. Bronzon's gonna come in again. Just going to get beaten down by Thunder. Roars out again. There's the Rayquaza. Go friend a Dragon Pulse, but no, just going to Thunder there as a mid ground. Yeah, just keep clicking Thunder because, like, what else is the opponent gonna do? Finally gets an attack off, but that Bronzon's gonna be done for. And Rayquaza's gonna threaten a Revenge kill. Oh, that crit probably may or may not have mattered. It probably did. And Kyogre's going to be able to eat this up pretty comfortably and just get an Ice Beam off. And oh, Laurel was just gonna forfeit, presumably was just super tilted from how that early game went. And Evuelf's gonna win this series 2-0, so a couple things to take away. We really see kind of a rough picture of how Mewtwo functions, and then you see how the reason why Mewtwo is not used as a lead often. Even it's more of an on paper kind of poke where it's like it seems really good as a lead until you put into an actual match. Unfortunately, Laurel ran into a Trick Scarf Deoxys Speed variant. If that was like say Cobra Berry or even something like just regular Focus Sash. Sorry, it's like past midnight for me recording this, but the thing is that if it was like, you know, Sash, it's like, you know, Mewtwo could have at least limited from doing anything too crazy, and then Laurel could, for example, focus on spraying that damage around before getting a high value boom. And you really see how by the time Laurel brought the Mewtwo back in, it was low on health. It looked like it could just friend a boom. And for Evuelf, it's like that sack for the boom being Deoxys Speed, kind of obvious and fairly straightforward. But I mean, Laurel was like already super behind at that point. Like the freeze didn't help, the full power didn't help either, because you could have at least focused on beating down the Kyogre and then trying to make something out of this game. But it is what it is. That's the game we play. And Evuelf's going to move on and stay in winner's bracket. Laurel's going to be sent down to losers. And that being said, though, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and consider donating to DPP Revival Ubers Open's prize pool. And I will see you guys next time.